You close your eyes for a while and imagine. You are a person who becomes a victim of an accident, in which you get lost along with a boat in the world's largest ocean, the Pacific Ocean, which is spread over 165 million square kilometers. You have no one of your own in such a vast ocean, and neither do you have food to eat nor water to drink, and you cannot drink the seawater because it is very salty, and you have no time to go back. There is no means. You don't know where you are in the ocean and where you need to go. Many big ships pass near you, but none of them noticed you. You are just a ray of hope because someone will come who will take me out of here, but no one comes there. You can open your eyes and thank God it was just an imagination. But the story I am going to tell you today is not an imagination, but a real-life story. And after listening to this story, you will get goosebumps, and this is the story of Joe Salvador Alvarenga, who was a very good fisherman. It is 17th November 2012. This is the date when Joey Salvador Alvarenga left a small village and went into the deep sea for fishing, and let me tell you in which sea he had gone. It was the largest ocean in the world, Pacific Ocean, and this ocean is so big that no matter how much land, desert, ice, rivers, ponds, waterfalls there are, even if all of them are combined together, they cannot equal this ocean. At that time, Alvarenga also had a friend with him, and Alvarenga had planned to go fishing for 30 hours, and accordingly he had taken food and water for himself. But fate had something else in store. For a while everything went as per plan, but then a dangerous storm knocked. In the beginning, light winds were blowing and it was raining a little, but Alvarenga ignored it and moved ahead. But little did Alvarenga know how heavy this risk would be for him. When the speed of the winds increased, Alvarenga understood that a very dangerous storm was about to come here. Alvarenga turned the boat around and went back in the direction from where he had come. But by then, it was too late, and both of them became victims of the storm. Alvarenga rowed the boat at full speed and somehow fought the storm and was about to reach his destination when his boat ran out of fuel and did another bad thing. They had no oars to steer the boat, and the ocean waves diverted them. He pushed again in the opposite direction. He had no choice. He had only one last hope, which was his radio, through which he could contact the team, but while waiting for a response from the front, his radio's battery runs out, and with this even their last hope, now they don't know in which direction their destination lies. And now he has come 400 kilometers away from his destination. The sea was so big, their boat was so small, even the rescue team could not find them properly. To make matters worse, all the food and water they had brought with them, and all the fish they had caught were thrown into the sea, so that the boat can move at speed. His condition had become miserable due to hunger, and circumstances made him do things which he did not even want to do in his dreams. To satisfy his hunger, he caught sea animals with his hands and had to eat them raw and drink rainwater to quench his thirst. But when there was no sign of rain even far away, you would not believe it. They drank animal blood and their own urine. He was being mentally tortured so much. It is difficult for all of us to even imagine. And somehow, they survived for 4 months, but Alvarenga's companion could not bear the torture and died. Now, Alvarenga was left alone, with no one to talk to. He was struggling alone. It was becoming difficult for him to spend a day. There was no work to do. His body was deteriorating while sitting at one place. At night, he keeps looking at the stars and wishes that someone would come here and take him out of here, but no one came there. 6 months had passed, but now Alvarenga has reached the middle of the Pacific Ocean, which is the largest ocean in the world. He did not know where he was and when what would happen to him, and he too had almost lost his hope of survival. But one day, a big ship was shown to him, but due to lack of small boat and fire gun, the ships couldn't see that boat. Alvarenga made a lot of noises and showed a lot of hands, but no one paid any attention to him, and this hope that came after 6 months also died again. Many airplanes passed over Alvarenga's head, but Alvarenga had nothing to signal them. Now he was 10,000 kilometers far from his village, he completely abandoned himself to God. Over time, many ships passed by him. With time, he felt the movement of many ships, but no one came forward to help him. Alvarenga was not killed, but his condition was no less than that of a dead person. It was Alvarenga's desire to live due to which he remained alive despite enduring so much torture for 400 days, and in such a situation, Alvarenga had made a world record which no one in this whole world would even think of making without him. Staying alone with a source for 400 days, and finally after 438 days, January 2014, he saw an island for the first time. And as soon as his eyes reached that island, it was as if the dead body had come to life. That island was at a distance of 10 or 15 kilometers from there. He tried his best and took the boat to that island, and thankfully he could see the island. Otherwise, the island that was to come after this was about 5,000 kilometers away. As soon as he reached the island, 438 days later, he stepped on land for the first time. But due to sitting at one place for so many days, he was not able to walk properly. His eyesight also reduced considerably. He set foot on the island and went a little further because he seemed to hate that sea, and he became unconscious there. And when he regained consciousness, he found the local guard of the island nearby. The guard immediately contacted the team and informed them about Alvarenga. Alvarenga was sent back to his country. When Alvarenga returned to his family, everyone's eyes were wide open because everyone had accepted that Alvarenga was no more in this world, and the most happy were Alvarenga's parents and their 14-year-old daughter named Fatima. Well, it was the story of a man who lived on his own courage in an ocean for more than 400 days. What can we learn from this story? What can't a human being do? Despite having nothing, he spent 400 days, and that too when he had nothing, neither food, nor water, nor any means to protect himself from cold and heat. Because when there is a desire inside a person, then no matter how bad the circumstances are, they cannot defeat the human being. Whatever the situation forces us to do, we will do it, and it will not be as bad with you as it was with Alvarenga. Every bad thing happened to him except one bad thing: he did not die. Apart from that, every bad thing happened to him. He endured so much torture for 438 days. No matter what the circumstances are, remember this story once, and then you will know how much better your condition is. You are stuck only because of yourself. If you liked this real-life story, then do not forget to share and become a part of our community by subscribing. See you again in the next video. Thank you.